All right, we'll get started. So my name is Chris Mayersky. I'm the Executive Director of Undergraduate Admissions here at Wilkes. Just want to thank you again for joining us today and joining us throughout the week. We're excited about you attending Wilkes. And as you prepare for summer, we're going to try and keep you engaged and keep you up to speed on everything going on at Wilkes. So for this session specifically, we're going to talk about student health and wellness, and campus safety. So joining me today is Gretchen Uninas, who's our Associate Dean for Student Affairs, as well as our Director of Public Safety, and our campus police is Chief Christopher Jago. So they're going to spend some time talking about their areas and how we're doing things at Wilkes and what our updates are. Just so you know, there is a Q&A tool that you could use. As you ask questions, I'll be able to ask Gretchen or ask Chief Jago, and we'll help get those answered. And we'll also try and answer some off screen as well. But without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Gretchen and Chief Jago, and they're going to talk to you about our campus.
Thank you, Chris. Chief, if it's okay with you, I'll go first and I'll let you.
Absolutely.
All right, very good. So good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Gretchen Uninas. I'm Associate Dean in Student Affairs, 22-year veteran at the university. So I've been around for a lot of these kind of orientation sessions. So if you have questions about just about anything, I think between myself and Chief Jago, we can certainly answer some of those questions for you. So I'm here primarily to talk to you about our health and wellness services today, which falls under the Division of Student Affairs, along with everything from residence life, campus counseling, student development. Just blank there for half a second. So a lot of big departments and a lot of areas where your students will have direct contact with us on a regular basis. So our Health and Wellness Services office is located in Passon Hall, very easy to get to, first floor access, and it really has two components to it: the health side of things, physical wellness, and the mental well-being as well, the campus counseling side of things. So our health side of things, in terms of our nursing staff, has two full registered nurses that work there. And there's an assistant for the office who kind of keeps things flowing for us. We also have a Dr. Michaeline Torbeck from the community, who comes in and has office hours in our health center on campus. That happens a few times a week. And of course, she's always available for consultations outside of those hours. Office hours are normally drop-in, actually, but with COVID and everything happening right now, we've been taking appointments to try to keep things spaced out a little bit. But it's very easy to get in to see the nurses, get in to see the doctor whenever you would need to. One thing I want to stress right off the bat is that a lot of students sometimes tend to think that health and wellness services is only for the students that live on campus, and that is not true. So if you are a commuter watching this presentation, you need to know that Health and Wellness Services is there for you as well. So if you're on campus at some point, you're not feeling well, and you just need a little bit of, a little medicine, or you need somebody to check something for you, you can go to health services as well. So this is for all of our students to utilize their services. We also, so for after hours, obviously the health services office is only open certain hours during the daytime. We have connections with the Wright Family Center, which is a clinic located locally, and public safety, as a matter of fact, can also make assistance in certain circumstances to get a student either to the hospital if it's non-emergent, or there are other local clinics that a student can get to as well. And health services can kind of direct students to all of those things if it's for something after hours. The services in the office themselves, they really are a full functioning office. So if a student, for example, has regular medicines that they need to receive, for example, allergy shots, those can be given right in the office. Diane and Julie are quite capable of administering those shots, as well as also administering blood work if someone needs weekly or monthly checks on anything. We have an agreement through Wilkes-Barre General Hospital where students can have blood work done right there at health services, and the samples will be sent out for testing at General Hospital. So there's certainly something that students should, feel free to use it as their own doctor's office when they're on campus as a student. They also can distribute medicines. If it's anything over the counter, those things are typically a free item. So for students who are coming far from home and you don't want to make a trip over to CVS or Rite Aid or something, you can go to health services and you can get all the medicines, cough drops, whatever you might need. You can get them right there free of charge. If it is something that requires an antibiotic, there's a small fee. I think it's $10 for your antibiotics. So again, very nominal, but again, available right there on campus for the convenience of it. They do other health screenings, and they also do a lot of different educational kinds of sessions as well over the course of the year. So some of those things, you'll see them sometimes set up in the student center. They also work a lot with our Bacchus student organization, which promotes a wellness and healthy lifestyle. So they have an annual alcohol awareness walk. They do some, they usually have a spring, I believe it's either Jeopardy or bingo that they do in the student center related to health questions and things. So they try to get the students engaged in a variety of different ways on campus, just outside of their offices even. Things that they can offer as well out of the office. For example, if someone sprains an ankle, whatever, we have the ace bandage wraps, they have the crutches, they have humidifiers if you need those kinds of things if you're ill, crutches, vaporizer, heating pads, and we have had this happen where we have students who've had knee surgery or something along those lines, or they need a jazzy. We actually have 2 jazzies that we can loan out for students to be able to get around campus a little bit more easily. So they really are a full service center as far as your health needs. So switching over to the mental health side of things, we also have 2 counselors available for students to use. And then, again, this is all free of charge for students to have appointments with these counselors. They're available in normal office hours to make appointments and for emergencies if needed. And then there is an after hours line as well. So we have a 1-800 kind of number that students can call anytime, daytime or nighttime. And all of that gets tracked back to our counselor. So the counselor can follow up in person with the student when it's appropriate. In addition, our public safety officers and Chief Jago will talk a little bit about this as well, are certainly trained to respond to certain mental health issues and things when they happen after hours. Trying to think what else. Let's see. Oh, the other piece of it was that the campus counseling too, they offer a lot of programs through the Residence Life Office. They do work pretty closely with our Residence Life staff. And we've had some group counseling sessions and things along those lines for support for students. You know, sometimes topics such as homesickness, for loss, if something along those lines happens at homes, it's helpful for students to have people to talk to on campus. So they really are available for a variety of different situations that might arise for any student coming to campus. And again, services are available for both residential and commuter students. I can't stress that enough. I work a lot with the commuter students, and I think they sometimes feel left out of things, and I just want them to know that this is all there for them as well. I think that's the bulk of what I wanted to talk about. If I think of anything else, Chris, I'm going to reserve the right to jump back in at the end.
Absolutely.
Were there any questions at this point? For health services, I'll keep an eye out for those. And if somebody thinks of something while Chief Jago's talking, we can answer it at the end as well.
Yeah, as of right now, we're good on questions, so
Okay.
We'll just continue on.
Very good. Then I'm going to turn it over to Chief Jago. Thank you all.
Thank you, Gretchen. And Chris, thanks for having me show up today. I'm speaking to you from my office here in the University Police Department. We are located on South Main Street, right in the heart of the Wilkes campus and in the center city. As you can probably figure, I'm here today just as our officers. We're a full service police department. And so we're still out there patrolling the campus and responding to calls for service. A little bit of background about me, and this is sort of an unusual. I'm used to being in front of people and speaking, so forgive me if my cadence is off a little bit. I served after 29 years of working at the University of Maryland Police Department in College Park, Maryland. I retired and took the job up here at Wilkes University when they were looking to sort of transform their what was called the public safety function to a full service police department. So that was in 2014. Roughly a year ago, we transitioned over to a full service police department. All of our officers have gone through police academy training and serve once again 24 hours a day with us on 3 shifts. We have 19 sworn police officers. We have 7 communications officers that handle all the calls coming in here to our police department, as well as they monitor we have the blue light phones and cameras on campus, and we have a very extensive camera system in buildings around campus too. So they monitor those things 24 hours a day. There's no break for us. Let's see, I'm a graduate of the FBI National Academy in 2005. I'm married and I have 5 kids. 2 of them are college students and one of them is a first-year student. So I have a clear understanding of all the concerns that parents have when they start sending their kids off to college. And I'm very comfortable with the safety and security profile that we have here at Wilkes University. So we obviously we have our sworn contingency. We also have 5 non-sworn officers. They are Act 235 certified, and they handle our parking enforcement duties as well as our residence hall security. So late night, they staff the desks and make sure people entering into the 2 large density high-rise places we have, which would be Evans and the Towers. They make sure that people coming in are supposed to be going in there and doing the things they're supposed to be doing as residents. We also have the parking enforcement side of it and the permitting. So if there's any questions that you may have about parking, I'd be more than happy to answer that. And it's been brought to my attention that we're now going to be taking over the shuttle operations on campus. So one of the things we'll be working on is getting students safely and securely from one point to the next on and off campus. We offer a very varied sort of amount of training here on campus, personal safety, training that we offer to our students, faculty, and staff, and all various different functions of like emergency management, personal safety, things of that nature. We also provide a 24-hour escort service, so that would either be on foot or with a vehicle to locations on and around the campus. And we also have something I'm pretty excited about. It's called the Wilkes Shield, and I would encourage students and parents to take a look at that. It's a free app that you can download to your phone. It enables you to communicate very quickly with the police department. You can send video. You can send us text and things of that nature. I know for younger people, they often feel a lot more comfortable just sending text. So we can get text messagings along with pictures or video of things, items of concern, so we can dispatch our officers. And it also offers a wide array of services that you will find on campus. Many of the things that are within Gretchen's operation as it relates to residence life, the campus health services, and things of that nature. So, I don't want to bore you with this conversation. I'd much rather answer any questions if anyone has them at this time.
I'll throw a question out there. In regards to the Wilkes Shield, do you have the ability to be anonymous if you are sending any text or video and things like that? And how does that work?
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's a great point, Chris. In addition to sending text, and that's being sort of the preferred method of communication many people have now, a lot of folks also don't want to get themselves too deeply involved in situations. They just want to let us know of something going on. And it can be something like bullying. It can be, issues related in your residence halls with drinking or drug use. We also have it set up so that it communicates to other departments within the university. So if there's something like a light is out in one of the residence halls or out on campus, or there's some kind of need to have facilities management come out and take a look at something, there's drop down for all that to be able to report that. And again, you can snap a picture of it and send it off. As a matter of fact, the majority of things we get through our Wilkes Shield app are mostly generated for things that facilities management needs to address.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
In regards to parking, I know that we always have a lot of questions about that in regards to freshmen and parking their cars over at the athletic complex. Can you talk a little bit more about the safety of having the cars parked there and what your team does to ensure that everyone's cars and belongings are safe, having their car parked at the athletic facilities.
Sure. Well, we do have the Ralston Athletic Complex that we generally send most of our first year students over to. We highly recommend that they secure their vehicle, that they put anything of value, they secure in the trunk or out of sight. I can tell you, and I'm knocking on wood right now, we have not had any issues over in that complex with vehicles being broken into or being damaged. So our officers patrol it on a frequent basis. We have a shuttle bus that runs through it throughout the day and the evening. And then, of course, after hours, our officers are either patrolling over there or they're picking up students who arrive late at night because of their work or whatever it is, they're returning from home. So we try our best to provide a very visible presence out in these particular parking lot areas.
Great, thank you, Gretchen.
Sure.
I'm gonna toss it
Hey,
over to you for
Chris, if I could just add too.
Yeah,
you
sure.
know, with everything else, with parking, we are constantly evaluating whether we can move people closer to campus and things of that nature. For instance, last semester, we were able to secure at a very, very low rate some parking over on Market Street that was also in a secured parking lot, so that people weren't going across the river and things of that nature. And we're looking at some additional parking here on the campus to accommodate as many of our students as possible.
Great, that's really helpful. And like I said, it's always a lot of questions we get about parking, so I appreciate
Absolutely.
you answering those and clearing them up. Gretchen, I'm going to throw it over to you for a question. So if a student has any issues in regards to not feeling well, and they need to potentially get some medicine, whether it's over the counter, and how would they go about that in regards to our campus staff and our nurses?
It really, on a normal, regular basis, Chris, it really is a simple situation where the student can just drop in at the health services office. Things changed ever so slightly with COVID that we were requesting students make appointments. And so we'll have to watch how the fall goes. But in general, a student would really just drop in, they sign in, they're seen within minutes. It all depends on the amount of students that are there at that time. And the nurses will see them and see what it is that they need. They can evaluate if it's just a basic head cold or if it's something worse. They can run tests, they can do strep tests, they can test for flu. All of those kinds of things right there in the office without even having to send a student out anywhere. So they really are pretty self-sufficient and can handle the run-of-the-mill kind of average issues a student would have. And honestly, if there is something bigger, if a student is ill with something worse and needs more attention than what they can provide, they certainly have the connections to get the student to the right people in the community or to the hospital directly.
Great. I'm not seeing any more questions right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give each of you any more opportunity to talk about anything else. And then if not, we're always available for questions. And I know that you're more than willing to answer any questions we might get after the fact. So if there's anything else you'd like to add about our campus, the health and wellness or security, go for it now. And then if not, we'll start to wrap up the session.
Well, I guess I would just like to say that, I'm glad that you've all decided to come to Wilkes or are considering it still. And, I hope that when you come to campus that you find it to be the right place for you. And if you do need help with anything, I just want you to know that either myself or somebody in the Student Affairs Division is there to help you if you have questions about anything. We can find you the right people to talk to if we aren't the right person necessarily. And related to just the Health and Wellness Services Center, they really will go above and beyond for anything that you need. So if you're coming to campus with a pre-existing condition of some sort, please make sure to reach out to them and they can help you monitor that situation while you're on campus away from home. So for the moms and dads that might be worried because your child has something already and they want to talk to somebody about it, please call Diane or Julie and get in touch with them, and they will certainly work with your student throughout their time here at Wilkes. So if there are any other questions, like I said, I work in student affairs and we really work with a variety of different student issues. So as Chris Mayersky said, if you have any questions after the fact, I'm sure he can get you my contact information. Turn it over to you, Chief.
Thanks again. So I think you'll find that that we have a very present and vibrant public safety function here at the university. I'm proud to say that over the last couple of years, at the end of the semester, our institutional advancement looks and speaks with different students about what sort of things they liked about the campus, what sort of things they wish the campus would improve upon. And I'm really happy to see that we have a little bit above an 80% satisfaction rate with all of our students from first year through our graduate students. And I think that speaks pretty highly of the dedication that our officers have. I'm always telling parents and students, we want to be the folks that people come to when they have problems, not run from or feel like going to us is going to be more of an impediment to resolving an issue. So I think from that aspect, the numbers speak highly of student satisfaction and how we operate here on campus. And I know public safety overall is one of the big concerns parents have when they look to send their students away. Last year, we joined the University of Scranton as the only 2 university police departments in the area. Scranton, of course, being Lackawanna. We're the only one in Luzerne County that has its own private university police department. And once again, I think you'll find that when you're here on campus, you'll see us because we're very present and engaged with the students.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you both. And, just to echo a little bit of what Chief Jago and Gretchen have said, I mean, I use sports analogies a lot, but, one thing at Wilkes is everyone's on your team. And, whether it's academics, whether it's campus safety, whether it's student affairs, we're all on campus for you. So, at any point, never hesitate to ask questions, to reach out to anyone. I think, the one thing that's always remained consistent at Wilkes is that the students are our number one priority. And, I think just by listening to a lot of our faculty and a lot of our staff, that always shines through. And, I went to Wilkes myself, and there's some things that haven't changed, and that's one of them. Is there's always people that are there, and Gretchen and Chief Jago are just 2 more examples of that. So please, when you get to campus, we're excited for you to be there. Never hesitate to reach out to any of our offices on campus, and we'll be sure that we can support you in any way that we can. So I'll kind of wrap things up. Thank you both again for joining us and talking about these important things and the important aspects of campus that are a part of the decision. So we thank you again. And as I said, if there's any questions after the session, please reach out to me, and I'll try my best to get you in touch with whoever you may need. We're also recording this, so this will be available if you want to play it back and hear anything else as well. I think it'll be helpful for our families moving forward too. So thank you both again.
Not a problem. Thank you for having us.
All right. Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye.